Now, one of the most important duties of a ship's officer on watch is the safe and smooth navigation of the ship. During its navigation, a ship has to sail through different weather and tidal conditions. It's the duty of the navigating officer to know and understand the ship sailing route well in advance and prepare for the same accordingly. One of the most dangerous conditions to navigate a ship is restricted visibility because of fog, heavy rain, and dust storm. When the ship's officer gets information regarding such upcoming weather condition, he or she should take all the necessary precautions to ensure that the ship sails through restricted visibility area without confronting any collision or grounding accident. The following are the 10 important points that an officer on watch should consider at restricted visibility.
Number 1. Know your ship inside out. An efficient navigating officer must know each and every aspect of his or her ship in order to prevent any kind of accident. From dimensions to the characteristic of the ships, the officer should know the ship will behave under different circumstances. For restricted visibility situation, it is important that the officer on watch know the stopping distance of the ship at any particular RPM in order to control the ship during emergencies. Ship navigation under circumstances of restricted visibility is one of the most challenging tasks when accomplishing a safe voyage at sea. The visibility is mentioned as restricted in cases that have been observed fog, heavy rain, or dust storms, and all very dangerous conditions to navigate. Ship navigation in restricted visibility doubles the likelihood of a collision or grounding. Such situations call for the use of a special equipment and require some actions to be taken by the time the officer gets information or relevant weather conditions. So to prevent kind of accident in ship, the navigating officer must know every inches of his or her ship, like by the checking navigation null equipment in use at regular interval of time, following a proper navigation plan to avoid any kind of collision, and a proper navigating plan. So to prevent kind of accident, a navigating officer must know every inches of his or her ship by checking navigational equipment in use at regular interval of time, following a proper navigation plan to avoid any kind of collision, should be conversant with the ship's speed, turning circles, and ship handling characteristics, and ensure handing over of the watch is done according to shipboard operation procedures. Should be fully aware of all safety equipment in onboard ship, must use helm and signaling apparatus whenever required, and should know the capabilities and the limitation of the ship in any situation.
Number 2, inform the master. During restricted visibility, it is important that the master is on the bridge. The OOW must call or inform the master regarding the navigation condition. And the officer should also inform the engine room and ask the duty engineer to man the engine room in case it is on unmanned mode. So when we say restricted visibility, it means that any condition in which visibility is restricted by fog, mist, falling snow, heavy rainstorm, sandstorm, or any other similar causes. So, monang it is important nga si master nasa bridge. It is important na ang OOW must call the master during this situation. So, the OOW or the officer on watch, ignaas duty, siya ang in charge of ship's navigation and safety. And sa barko na sila list of situation na gi-provide sa company, wherein the officer on watch must call the ship's master to the bridge to avoid any kind of danger for the ships. And OW Manggod, muna sila in charge sa bridge and naa sila independent decision. Pero naa sila pagduduha, pag-doubt about a particular situation, OW should always din na sila natawgo nila si master. Inform nila si master. And not only the master lang ilang i-inform, also ang engine room. Ang engineer ilang i-inform pod also. Kay sa barko manggod, nausahay nga inyong makina animan, walay tao. So automatic siya. So mo na yung mga situation also pod nga ang officer i-inform pod ang engine room para makabalo sila sa situation. So mo na i-state ang next slide. So mo na importante gyud nga makabalo ang master kung naay restricted visibility during navigation.
It is important that enough manpower is present on the bridge in order to keep a close watch on the ship course. Additional personnel must be appointed as lookout at different locations on the ship. If there is a traffic in the area, the officer must inform the engine room to have enough manpower so that the engine is also ready for immediate maneuvering. So without adequate and supportive manpower, a ship will never be successful or a voyage will never be successful. A lookout at the ship's bridge who maintains and continuous watch of the sea to report any kind of hazard that can be an obstacle in navigation and cause harm to the ship, especially in restricted or in zero visibility. So a lookout must be alert in all aspects to do his duty or to do his job. So it is very important to have adequate manpower, especially on board in immediate response situation or different emergency situations. The engine should be prepared because we all know machines and engine it didn't work or it will not work without the presence of manpower. And we all know engine has a very big part of a voyage. So it is important to have adequate manpower to support it. The more manpower, the more risk may be avoided.
Keep the fog horn ready. So first, we must ensure that the fog horn is working properly for the restricted area. And then, if the horn is air operated, drain the line prior to opening the air to the horn. So before we go on to that topic, let's understand what is the fog forecasting. So fog forecasting, professionals, forecasters warn sailors of impending foggy conditions, but fog forecasting with a degree of success is possible if there is a humidity meter in the raft. So then they said that when the humidity reaches 90 to 95% and the seawater temperature is 5 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius, they say that there is a high tendency or a high chance of fog. So then, now let's go on to how to prepare and navigate fog. Navigate in fog. Okay, so when fog conditions appear, when sailing, the safety of the crew and yacht or ship should be in the skipper's first consideration. And then, the first priority when navigating is to establish your position as exactly as possible at the onset of mist or fog. Then, knowing where you are or cannot possibly be is the essence of safe conduct with reduced visibility. So, they said that update your estimated position thereafter at half or um, hourly intervals, or when making major chances in direction. So now, that is the how to prepare or navigate in fog. And then I will tackle about the strategy for sailing in fog. Strategy when sailing in foggy conditions depends on whether the yacht is too close to land, or in a busy shipping area, or well out of sea. So strategy out of sea. First one is continue on course if out to sea. So keep a lookout and making fog sound signals every hour or timely limited. So the next one is, if possible, proceed under sail, and then as engine noise limits the ability to hear other ships. So the third one is, if in calm conditions and motoring is the only way, option is move at a practical speed to give good steerage, way enabling the ship to turn quickly if necessary. And then turn off the engine at regular intervals and listen for other vessels or navigation aids. And lastly, the mainsail should be hoisted, making the ship visible to another vessel. So that's it, guys. So, we must keep the foghorn ready every time. We must keep it ready.
Reduction of speed, or the reduce of speed in terms of, or in an event of a restricted visibility. So visibility is an important aspect in the cruising speed of the ship. So as an officer of the watch, whenever the visibility or underway there is restricted visibility, we must reduce our speed or minimize our ship in order to make some adjustments whenever we may sense some dangers underway. So what are these factors that may force us to reduce our speed? So these factors are, number one is the state of weather, state of visibility, traffic density, proximity to dangers in navigation, and the attention required in navigating, or if we are nearing traffic in a narrow channel. But we will only focus on the event of a restricted visibility. So in Rule 19 of the Call Regs, it is the conduct of vessels in restricted visibility. Every vessel shall proceed at safe speed adapted to prevailing circumstances or conditions of restricted visibility. So in an event where the officer of the watch is restricted on his vision, so it is advised, or it is needed that the ship must reduce his speed. So there are no stand-on or give-way vessels in a restricted visibility. So every ship must take action, and every vessel must proceed at a safe speed when its engines are ready for immediate maneuver. You must assist your ship in getting close to another ship if there is a risk of collision. So overall, for the safety of the ship and its crew, we must proceed in a safe speed whenever circumstances like in restricted visibility. In reducing speed, we can make ample time adjustments and avoid the risk of collisions. So